everyone, Kathy Maxon, Craft Creations by Kathy. Happy spring of 2026. Sorry, I've been MIA for a while. My craft room still is not done, so I'm trying to set up a temporary space because I do need to get making videos so you guys can watch and everything be great. Today we're going to make a bow wreath. Basically, we're going to be using mesh, and we're going to use this ribbon, and we're going to be making bow bundles. I did see this on Sincerely Creative Mom from Melissa, so I used a 14-inch wreath form from the Dollar Tree, and I got 3 ribbons. I got a 2.5 inch, 1.5, and a 1.5. These all came from Sam's Club. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut our mesh. We're gonna do 6 pieces. It's basically kind of like a pancake wreath, but we're only gonna do the outside pancake, and then we're gonna make the bows, the bundles, and then we're gonna fill it up, and it's gonna be a pretty wreath. So we're gonna cut 20 inches on our mesh. Got my cutting mat here. And remember, you always want the glass. I don't know what this piece that I had was. It's all frayed, so we probably won't use it. It was just wrapped around this mesh. It's just generic mesh, and I'm just using the mesh to... I need to be the other way, don't I? Sorry. Can you tell it's been a while? I think I need to have my mesh on this side. I think that's what's making me all wonky here. I got my little wood burning tool plugged in. Got the chisel tip. Let's make this edge pretty. I'm not plugged in. I'm plugged into the wall. I'm not plugged into my power strip. Again, I feel all discombobulated down here. I'm working on the tabletop that's on top of my container store drawers. I don't even have a trash can over here. Okay, 20 inches. You can do the rotary cutter. I'm just doing the wood burning tool just because it may help it a little better from fraying. We're going to cut 6 pieces. And I have a potato masher that holds my wood burning tool in. Okay, let me get the 6 pieces cut and I will return. Okay, so just like the pancake wreath, we're going to use the outside 2 rows. I'm going to do at the crossbars. Just going to cross it, and I'm going to cross this one under. So I want to keep these so they don't move. So again, I'm using the outer 2. Cross them and bring that guy under that so they don't move. Okay, let's get a mesh. I got a mesh, and all I'm going to do is scrunch up the middle. So it's just going to be a ruffle. Okay, put that in your pipe cleaner. Sorry, I'm making a lot of noise, aren't I? Crisscross, pull it down tight. We only really need to kind of really wrap it around once because we're going to put our bow bundles in. So this is just gonna help keep the bow up. Excuse me. Keep the bow up, and it'll give it a little bit of color. So we're just gonna keep going around, fill in all our 6 spots. So it's curled side down. Put this guy in, make it tight. Crisscross, you only need to go once or twice. And I usually just try to do my crossovers going the same way. I try to be consistent with that. So then you see how it kind of makes it flat. So I'm going to keep going around. I'm going to finish the other 4 and I will be back. So this is how it turned out. All 6. We're going to leave these because, again, we're going to come back in. We're going to make our bows. That's what I needed. Hang on 1 second. Okay, I had to go find my ribbon holder, the Bodabra. I'm just going to make it hold. So this is, we're going to be making these bundles. We're going to put 1 bundle in each of those mesh. So I use 3 ribbons. Got a yellow plaid, checked, solid pink, and I really like this one, so I put that one on top. I've never made this bow before. Melissa used 4 ribbons. I didn't find a 4th one that I liked to go with this. So we're going to make a tail, 7-inch tail. The bottom, we're going to make 5-inch loops. So I'm just going to kind of bring my loop out, be at the end. I'm going to scrunch. We're going to twist to bring the right side up. Then we're going to make a loop this way, and we can bring this one up, maybe, and have it match that one. I don't know why, but mine always come out longer. The one with, so we're gonna do 2 bows, 2 loops on one side, 1 loop and 2 tails on the other. So then this one, you can match up here, scrunch it, twist it so it's forward, and we're gonna make that tail match, more or less. We'll go back and dovetail it. So we're going to spread out the 2 loops here. This one we're going to spread the tails out. Tails, tails, and then the loop in the middle. I'm going to do pink. I'm going to do 7-inch tail again. We'll probably be ending up trimming these tails. Then this, since those were 5-inch, we want to be a little less. So I'm going to try to do a 4.5-inch tail, or loop. So again, I'm just going to gather it, and we're going to twist it so the right pretty side now is up. Bring this up over here. That one seem a little long. Marry them up, pinch it, twist it. And then these ones here, you're gonna pinch it, gather it up in the back, twist it, and then this one's gonna have the loop and 2 tails. Now what we're gonna do is this stuff we're gonna stack. These have the 2 loops, these have the 2 tails. We're gonna stack it in reverse. I'm gonna put my 2 loops on this side and my loop and 2 tails on this side. And you see how this one, I don't know why, this side always keeps being smaller or longer. I want it a little shorter. You see how that is? So I'm going to try and pull that guy a little shorter. And does this guy go to it too? Okay, so now it's not as long. I don't know why. The one with the one tail and 2 loops, or the one loop and 2 tails always seems to get really long. So we're going to do that. You see how these are longer. We'll end up cutting them last. Again, 7-inch. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do a 3.5-inch loop, because this is going to be my center loop. So I'm just going to go about there. I'm going to gather it all in the back, and then we're going to twist it to this one. You can tell. So when it's that way, then you're going to turn it for the pretty side. Now this, we're going to do like a 4-inch. So what you could do is kind of gather at 8, and it should be your 4-inch. And that's okay if this one's longer or just the same size as the other ones, because I like this ribbon. You know, this is kind of the main attraction, more or less. So gather those up, twist it. So that one's longer than that. We're not going to count this as a loop. So we're going to still do 2 loops on one side, 1 loop, this 1 loop, and 2 tails. Well, it ends up, the tails are opposite because you made the center loop. But I'm still going to do 1 loop on that side, 2 loops on this side, and then we're going to cut that. So 2 loops. This is my 2 loop side. I'm going to make it opposite. So that's my center guy. And then you can put that, we can make the loop go up and that go down. Then this I want, I don't know, I don't like when the tails are on the top. So I'm just gonna push that one over that way. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zip tie it for my sanity. I'm gonna face it down, kind of click it. I'm not gonna tighten it because I wanna make sure all my ribbon is kind of not all wonky when I go to tighten up this zip tie. Okay, and that's going to be that and that. So then now we can pull it tight. We're going to do the zip tie off to the side. And there you go. Let's bring the wreath back in. So here's our base. So right where our zip tie is, we're going to put that right in there. I think I'm going to kind of tie it off to the side. And you're going to do it a bunch of times. We're going to cut off the excess. And we're just going to tuck this down. So it's going to go underneath our ribbon. Here's our center loop. We can go from the back. Here's the 2 loops and the 2 tails of the yellow. Here's the 2 pinks, so those can go right in between that. There's our center. We can even make that tail go up there in between, kind of break that up. Over here, then we have the 2 loops of the yellow, and here we had the tail and 2 tails and the 1 pink, And then this one we had the 2 loops and 1 tail. So as you get these next to each other, you see how it's going to kind of hide the base because you can see the form. So we're going to do that. Let's dovetail. We can just go and dovetail. You can do that right away if you want. You can leave them at a length and get them all in, and then figure out what lengths you want. But this pretty much is all we're going to do. We're just going to fill it up with these bow bundles, and we're going to call it a finished wreath. So let me get these tails cut, be cut. You fold in half, cut from the fold up at an angle to the open spaces, and it cuts your V. So you're going to be fluffing. We can fluff bows and ribbon all day long, right? Okay, so that's what the bundle's going to look like. Let me go add the rest, and we'll see how it turns out. Let's put in our last bundle. That's how it's looking. So again, you just want to get it sitting in there nice and tight. Bring it off to one side. Twist, twist, twist a bunch of times. I'm going to cut it and tuck it under. And then you just fluff it out. So on the bottom, we have the 2 tails and the yellow. We have 2 loops on the pink. Got my flower pattern. This side then had 2 loops and 2 tails and a loop. And then this one had 2 loops and a tail. So you see how it kind of hides. So like I said, the creator of this, she did use 4 ribbons, so it would even hide more of the background and more of seeing the wreath form, because I think this one here, I don't like it, kind of, I think sags down, so I don't know how I can fix this. But let me get it on the wall, and I can go and trim off some of the tails if they're too long, but you just kind of gonna tuck them, you know, they can overlap each other just to fill up the space. But I think this would be pretty spring summer wreath. I need to get it into the shop so I can get it sold.